Hello, I'm Ralph Canty, and welcome again to Native Drums. It's my pleasure to have as our special guest today the Reverend Pastor Lithonia Barnes, who also serves as mayor of the city of Florence, South Carolina. Reverend Pastor, Mayor, it's such a pleasure to have you today.
And it is a pleasure to be here.
You bring so much to this podcast as I reflect upon your life as a child in Savannah Grove Church, who has now grown not only into womanhood, but to in the fullest stature of civic and political leadership. Savannah Grove Church has a very rich heritage. We feel extremely proud of the contributions we have made to the political and civic sector of life from Reconstruction until now. It's a major expanse, but you are our youngest and our newest product. We boast here at Savannah Grove Church of having had at least three persons from our congregation to serve in the South Carolina legislature. We have had at least three members to serve on different school boards. We have had a municipal judge and two persons who have served on the Florence City Council and one who served on Florence County Council. And I think it's worthy to mention that the person who currently serves on County Council happens to be your brother. And then now we are blessed to have you as a member of this church and as pastor of Fletcher Grove Baptist Church in Laurinburg, North Carolina, serving as mayor of the Magic City.
Yes.
Yeah. What said you of this occasion?
When you put it into that perspective, it helps me to understand all that went into who I am. One, you yourself have done so much work out there in the field, and I was surrounded by a lot of those people that you've just named, and so it just makes sense that Savannah Grove produces servants that are willing to serve, not just for titles, but really to get the job done for the people. It is what I've seen all my life in being raised and reared here in Savannah Grove. And so I am honored to step into this position, understanding that those that have come before me have actually made my pathway clearer.
Oh, wonderful. Now, if I recall correctly, you served on city council.
Yes.
For one term?
Yes.
For one term and for 4 years.
4 years.
And now you are nearing the completion of your first year as mayor.
Yes.
Tell us what that first year has been like in your life.
It has been busy. It really has been busy. I hit the ground running. There have been a lot of projects done. There's a lot of collaborations. One of the first things that I wanted to do was I launched a campaign, Stronger Together. And that meant bringing entities, people, churches, schools, everybody together for one goal, and that's for a better Florence. And that has kept me really busy trying to reach out to as many people and different entities that I can, so that, when you sit at the table with so many different ideas, it's we are going to come up with the better idea when all are giving input. And that's one of the busiest things that I've been doing. And once I allowed the people to know that I am for them and that I am accessible, they then said, okay, you are? Well, here you go. We got some stuff for you to do. And they've been keeping me busy.
Wonderful. Well, one of the profound principles that Jesus espoused was the concept of unity. A house divided against itself cannot stand, or a church divided cannot stand. That same principle applies to municipal government.
Yes.
So I think it is significant that you have engaged in a campaign to bring this community together. Tell us some of the things that you have done in this regard.
And so one of the things that I've done to start off, we did a campaign, Fireside Chat. And that is, we would go to the community, having open dialogue, allowing them to know what the city is doing, and then for them to tell us their needs. We would cook and feed them and serve them. As you know from Savannah Grove, that's one of my loves, to cook and serve the community. So I took that there, and that was a great success. I will probably do another round of that once because we've gotten so many of those projects out of the way. And then we've got, I guess there's so many projects that I can talk about, but there is so much movement all over Florence. The entire city of Florence is bustling with newness. And one of the things that I've seen you do as a leader, and some of the leaders that I was blessed to be under, bringing the people along with what you are doing, it makes it so much better. While we can put new buildings in communities, but if there is not a mindset change or a shift, the community won't actually care for what we are doing. One major thing that I want to do is bring the people along and put them out front. Not make this about me, a campaign, any other political leader, but make everything that we do about the people. So we're getting a lot done, but my major thing that I think that I'm undertaking is bringing the people together so that they will be excited. Change happens with the people, not with a new building. The people have to buy in.
Okay, wonderful. So on the one hand, at ground zero level, you building on unity and consensus. Uh, what about the projects? What are some of, or maybe my question should be, what are the major projects that's on the agenda for council at this point?
At this point, of course, we're doing an urban square, which would be across, that would be in the downtown area. Major because the first townhouse condo that will be built there will be at the same location where the first hotel for Florence ever will be. It's the old Trailway bus station, and we actually brought in archaeology specialists to dig and get some artifacts. Well, that's one of the things, and that we will be doing a groundbreaking for that. Now, my Oakland project is what, if I can go there,
Sure.
if that's okay. The Oakland project is something, is probably one thing that's lumped together that helps the community to see progress faster because it's lumped together. On Oakland Avenue, right at the end of the bridge, there is a 2-story house there that has been an eyesore for at least 40 years or longer. We are getting possession of that so that we can tear that down and put at the beginning of the community, welcome to Historic North Florence. Why is that important? When people are entering into their homes, entering into their neighborhoods, they see this unsightly piece of property that reminds them of this is where they are, their home. And so we want to change that. When you come on down Oakland Avenue, there has been a problem with flooding. So we are doing over $11 million of storm drainage on Oakland Avenue. Then we've got some Oakland Plantation, the apartments there. We have partnered with the Housing Authority. The Housing Authority will be tearing those apartments down, and brand new building will be erected. This is top of the line. We're not talking what we are accustomed to seeing with projects. We're talking granite tile. We're talking crown molding in these, and housing is allowing the residents to come in and help design what they want, giving them a sense of dignity. Also across the street, Dr. Iola Jones' home has been purchased by the city, and we are deeding it to the Housing Authority. That place will be an empowerment center, for oftentimes people go into housing and never come out. We understand a mindset change has to happen, but there again, we've got all of these different groups that want to help in the community, but need to come together. So whether it be the churches, whether it be 501c3 mentorship groups, we want to have a place to house where people could come in. We also understand in that same area, those people hear gunshots every night. So
Wow.
there is a form of PTSD that is going on. So in the back of the Empowerment Center, we want to do a mental oasis, an outdoor art gallery, creating a space of peace and tranquility. That's that one. Then right down the street, you've got the Iola Jones Park, and we just completed our amphitheater there. Across the street from the park is an old dilapidated store. We've reached out to the owners, and they have agreed to build a gas station there. And then in that area, we are trying to build 10 or more houses. As of to date, we've got about 5 people. And I think they were all a part of the churches. When I reached out to all of the pastors and churches, asking them to, if we would give them a piece of property and $25,000 down payment assistance, if they would build a home so that it would be affordable. And right now we have 5 that have signed up to build. So we've got 5 more to go. So, and there's much more. We are really, but before I say anything else, and as we were doing this, God spoke to me and said, before you do anything else, before you turn any dirt, make sure that you bring the people along, because they need to know it is because they have gotten behind this that this is getting done. We need to empower the people. And so on November the 8th, we will be having a Reclaiming Our Community March. And we're asking for all to come out and rep your school, rep your fraternity, rep your business, whatever, in T-shirts or however, to come out so that we could march and allow the community know that we're here and change is coming. And well, change is here. So, and also we will have fried fish and hot grits that morning. My pastor laughs at me because I'm always trying to feed people. But that would be at Dr. Iola Jones Park at 10 o'clock, November the 8th, that morning. And it will be a prayer.
Okay, well, let's back up a bit.
Okay.
Because I think I heard somewhere in the air that march was planned for a previous time and was canceled. You want to talk to us a bit about that, why it was canceled?
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. The march was planned, I think, for October 2 weeks ago. And we had a rainstorm and we had to postpone it. But let me tell you, people are so excited. There were people who showed up in the rain to march in the rain. And so I got phone calls, where are you all? And I said, well, it's been postponed because of rain. And they were like, well, we were ready. And so I'm hoping that our community is still ready and that they will show up in big numbers.
So this is the same march, just a different date.
Same march, different date.
Okay. Speak to us, if you don't mind, Mayor. You've mentioned the name Dr. Iola Jones on several times during your comments. Who is Dr. Iola Jones, and what makes her property significant to this project?
Dr. Iola Jones and her brother were very instrumental in the 60s, well, even in the 50s. They did a lot of community work. Dr. Iola Jones was the first social worker for South Carolina, Black social worker for South Carolina. And her work was so instrumental that it gained the attention of the White House. She was called to the White House on 3 different occasions. She became a personal friend with Eleanor Roosevelt. She also opened up the first foster care for Blacks. And she has done just so much work in community. She has helped to establish several women's groups, even in the church and in the community. She did not have children. Her community was her children, and she fought to find ways to better the community. Francis Marion honored her by doing a historic landmark. And early, when the park was named after her, the mayor Cooper Teta honored her work because it is an extensive amount of work that she has done throughout. I think Morris College has a building that's named after her. And so it gives me aunt. Now, Dr. Iola Jones is my aunt, but I did not know her for the work that she did. I knew her when she was older. I would have to go to our house as a little girl and braid her hair, and my mom would send us over there to clean up. It was later on in life that I found out all of the things that she and her brother, Joe Dees, he was instrumental when downtown was thriving, and it was called Black Wall Street down there. He had several businesses. He was the promoter that brought a lot of world-renowned talent to Florence, and that's why they honored him as well. They were very instrumental in a lot of different things.
Okay. It sounds like Dr. Iola Jones was of the class and style of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. Was there any relationship between the two of them, as you know?
I'm glad you said that. They became really good friends. Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, pastor, was Dr. Iola Jones' husband.
Wow.
And so Dr. Iola Jones being the first lady of the church, it brought the two of them together. And so her connection to the White House came through Mayor McLeod Bethune, because the first reach out was to Mayor McLeod Bethune, and so it brought Iola Jones along with it.
Oh, that's an interesting piece of history. And that's an interesting perspective as we talk about the redevelopment of a community and tying that redevelopment to history and to a resident who had state and national acclaim. So thank you so very much for bringing that information to our attention. Pushing the needle a step further, in your conversation as you talked about redevelopment, you talked about a project to construct new homes in that area, and the partnership between city council and local churches. Could you elaborate on that a bit for us?
I would gladly. One of the things that we understand, we don't want to get into the business of real estate as a city, but we are hoping that we could bring partners along. So the city owns property, and we are even going to take it further by purchasing additional properties to give to churches, developers, those who have the finances to build. Once we give that property, we do have an agreement that you have to sign, because we don't want shabby homes built. These homes have to have crown molding. They have to have granite countertops and nice flooring, because we don't want 10 years later us needing to redo these homes. And so that agreement is signed. After that agreement is signed, you build the home. We will give $25,000 for down payment assistance, so that it, again, giving the property takes the cost down, and also giving of $25,000 allows you to sell the home at an obtainable rate, an affordable house. and that's what we're shooting for.
Okay.
We also have programs in place. Housing has partnered with us where they could take classes for to repair their credit, partnering with banks so that they can be in position to buy homes. There are several different programs that we have in place to help our people get back into the community. One of the things that I noticed, a lot of people said, well, I'm afraid if you fix the community up, gentrification comes in. Well, this effort helps actually push gentrification down the road. We are trying our best to get those into the communities who want to be there. They are from the community, but they may not have the resources or even the know-how to get new homes.
Okay, wonderful. So if I recall correctly, I'm over 30, and that's North Florence you're talking about.
Yes.
All right. What's your vision for? I think Florence is pretty much known for being a four-sectional
Yes.
geographical community, north, south, east, and west.
Yes.
So this effort is all focused on North Florence. What are you envisioning for the other sections of Florence?
And I'm glad you said that because this is the beginning. And that's why at the end of everything we are saying to be continued. In East Florence, right now, we have $19 million going over there in the park. We've gotten 9 homes to be built over in the Pine Street Gilliard. And not only to mention the projects of housing and the city working together will also happen in the East Florence and the West Florence. And so we've got big plans for all of our areas. That's why we are taking one bite at a time, getting the people on board, and then we will continue to move around Florence. No part of Florence will be left out. This is for all of Florence. And so when you're excited for someone else, you make it happen for yourself. And that's what we're seeing. We're having people from West Florence to come to the march in North Florence, people in East Florence coming to the march in North Florence, because this is about us, all of us, and no corner will be left unturned.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you, Mayor Barnes. Now, if you don't mind, let's shift a little bit from geo-political residential subdivisions to some more or less universal conversation.
Okay.
Could you talk to us? I understand that there has been a major issue in Florence with water. I'd like for you to address the issue with the water project, where we are with that project, where we are with crime, where we are with transportation, and I suspect the fourth one would be where we are with industrial development.
Wow. And like I said, this is a great time to be in Florence because it's happening everywhere. And so when I became mayor, I had not been sworn in yet, but I had been going to meetings as mayor. People were calling me into the meeting. We had a major water issue. And the city council and I talked, and they said, all right, you want to be mayor? We need to see change. And the reason they said that is for years, people have been kicking the can down the road. They say, oh, we live in a swamp. What you expect? Well, I decided that, I called the city manager and I said, I can't settle for that answer. You've got to give me something else. Something has to be done. The hard decisions had to be made, and I had to be my first assignment. I had to be firm and say, look, we hired you as city manager, and we expect you to get this job done. And can I tell you, he has delivered. Now, some people may not see it because this problem is a $200 million problem just for surface water.
Wow.
That's not including sewage. That it is just that much for sewage. So when we think about that, where's the money going to come from? Who's going to pay for this? So we're applying for grants. We're trying to get private and public funds, but some of this monies will be passed on to the consumer. No politician wants to tell someone their water rates is going up. However, what was placed in our lap was fix the problem or it gets worse. And so we had to bite the bullet. And we brought in experts from everywhere. They were talking about maybe we need to sell to a water authority, maybe. And when the expert spoke to say everything that this city manager has put in place is right on point, the problem is it takes a while. We have just we've passed an ordinance where the city manager could borrow $270 million. Well, he can't use $270 million because the developers are not moving that quick. So he decided to get $170,000, $170 million, and we put some bids out there. Well, the bids are coming in slow. The reason being, everybody has infrastructure problems. And so these developers who are working on this understand that they can bid 2 and 3 times more than what it really costs to do the job. And so we had to take a back step and rethink. But we brought in specialists. We are doing the skater system. The skater system is put on it's a moving in technology where before we see the brown water, the skater system detects it, and then we can go out and flush the system. Well, with the rapid growth that's going on in Florence. So in Florence, even though we're in the city, but all of Florence that's in our area, we control the water and sewage. And so when you have 8,000 homes permitted to be built within the next year, that's a lot of building. It is also a lot of knocking on pipes where old settlement falls into the water, resulting with residents getting brown water. So now we have to put in place that as soon as SCADA system tells us, or we get calls that there's brown water, we run out and flush the water system. So you will see a lot more of our people, the firemen or our departments, flushing fire hydrants. And that's to help to flush out some of the settlement that's falling in the water. We've had problems with stealing, developers who's building, instead of going in the right way to get water, they just knock a pipe open and steal the water. And so what happens? Settlement falls. But right now we are on a good path for our water. It is just I'm going to ask everyone to be patient because it's going to take a while for us to fix a problem. Our water system has really not been, the pipes that we are dealing with were done in the 70s. So Florence was a lot smaller. The size of the pipes that we need is much larger. When you look at just in Florence, South Carolina, there's over 700 miles of pipes. So for that to be replaced, you're talking about going to Miami and back. That's how much pipes are in, and we've got to do replacement. That's not going to change overnight. So that's our water system.
Okay. Wow. That's a meaningful report, and it certainly suggests progress.
Yes.
A problem that existed prior to your coming into office, but you are managing it. Thank you for that report. Okay.
Yeah.
Now talk to us about this crime thing and 15-year-old shooting in the middle of the night and that sort of stuff.
Well, one of the first things that I tackled was crime. And so outside of the water, because that happened before I was sworn in, by the time I was sworn in, I came up with a 5-point plan to crime. One of the main things out of the 5-point plan was policing through technology. We look at TV, the NCIS program, but that is real. We need more centers policing in that way because it helps our police to do a better job, and it also keeps them safe when we can use technology. So we have a drone that's my baby. I love the drone system that we have. This drone system sits on top of City Hall. Within 30 to 90 seconds, it could be in any place in Florence. The only thing we got to do is enter the address. Once it comes over, it will actually just stay right there. Every police car has the data, or the camera system, where they can see what's going on. In 30 to 60 seconds, if someone has a break-in, we can catch them at the place or running away. We also have a flock camera system, and that system it connects with other cities and towns and states. Anybody who has the flock camera system, we can connect in it. So us having the drones, us having the flock camera system, when you drive past, it reads the tag on it. It also will allow, if you say the person that robbed the store was driving a gray Nissan, we put in gray Nissan, the year, make, model. It will pull up every one of them that pass the cameras. We have 68 cameras around Florence. Darlington has them. The county has them. McBee, I don't know if you remember, McBee had a shooting. The cop was shot in the head, and the person that did it fled to Florence. Because of the flock camera system, his car dinged our police. We were able to notify the McBee police that he was in Florence. Our people got behind him. He fled to Lee State County Park. And there he took his life. But it was because you would be surprised. As of September, over 170 cases have been solved because of our flock camera systems. And so policing through technology works. And we're not stopping there. We are looking to do bigger and better and more that will help to keep Florence safe. We named the camp for our young people after Terrence Caraway, the officer that was gunned down in the line of duty. We brought that back. We also are offering money to our police that live in high crime areas. We will help to pay their mortgage or their rent. We are also what is it? I'm trying to think. The businesses that have a lot of crime, we are actually saying, hey, we've got to look at your license. We've got to look at if you should be licensed to have businesses in Florence if you're going to be a hub for crime. So there's a lot going on.
Okay. All right. What about the transportation? How are we coming with transportation? What are we looking like in terms of how we get people in our city from one point to the other?
The county has done a really good thing. Now you could ride for free. The busing system is for free for anyone going to work, going out to shop, whatever. It is free. The transportation I would like to talk about is our airport. Our airport is on the move. And I would encourage all of the citizens, if you want to see our airport system grow, we've got to help them grow by flying out of Florence. Most people will ride to Myrtle Beach or ride to Charlotte, but we need to invest. We've got a new director, and he is on the money. He is looking to bring in cargo. Cargo is major. Making Florence an international airport where they could come in with all of these tariffs and things like that. When you have a place where they could come in and bring stuff in from overseas. I think on the East Coast, outside of Charlotte, there's not that at Myrtle Beach. So Charlotte has it, Raleigh has it, but no one else does. And so he's trying to move to get that and also bring in cargo. The train system runs right by the airport. Florence is just situated just perfect for everything. All roads lead to Florence. We've got connectivity. We've got access through trains, through airport, through and industry is just booming here in Florence. That tells us that they see the gem that we are.
Okay. Well, finally, you are clearly a visionary. So share with us your vision for Florence, say 5 years from now, 10 years, or 20 years from now. Where do you see Florence going?
Florence right now is growing, but growth brings on problems. And we see a lot of bigger cities with a lot of growth. But with that growth, they lose their connectivity. That's something that really is hard to do when you're growing fast. And so being intentional about our growth, being intentional about where we build, how we build, because we got to live here after everything is all built up. That's something that, we need to empower our people, one, to care for this place called Florence. This is not just the elected official's job. This is not the pastor and the church's job, the teachers and the principal. This is our job. bringing everyone on board is something that is major. We're looking at so many different things that we're doing. It's already happening, but I don't want us to lose our connectivity. And that's what I want to be intentional about.
Okay. As a community, what can we do to support you and to support council and to foster a better, greater Florence?
That's a great question, because there are a lot of things that we could do. You could serve on boards and commissions. You can, when COVID hit, we had a time where we went to our homes, and we have not fully come back the way we should. Being engaged is something that helps us. It's almost as though we are the body, but you tie a tourniquet around stopping the flow of everything being able to go to one body. We have to come back together again. It's funny, we say the good old days. We call them a good old days for a reason. Family was strong. Community was strong. The church was strong. You could trust people. Getting back to basic 101 is something that we really need to work on. And so I would say, love your neighbor as yourself. I would say, help each other, support one another, show up to meetings and voice your opinion. It is not good enough for you to stand on the sideline and complain. What are you going to do about the problem in your community? How are you going to make a difference right where you live? You know, you don't have to pick up a title, just pick up whatever God has put in front of you. That's one of the ways that you can help.
Okay. Hey, it's been such a pleasure having you today. Now tell us again, the Iola Jones North Florence March is what date?
November the 8th at 10 o'clock at Dr. Iola Jones Park. Please come. Please come. You can come hungry because we'll feed you, but come ready to unite as one, as a community.
And I think I've heard you say you would love to see about 500 people there.
We want 500 plus people. So rep your school, rep your class, rep your church. We want you to wear your different. I'm glad you said that, because I didn't say this. This will be videoed. We want to do a video of Florence coming together. And so we want to see your picture on there. We want to see your face representing on the video.
Okay. Thank you so very much for coming and being with us today. Thank you for coming and for being with us. It's our intent to make Native Drums more and more an informative forum for this community, keeping you in touch and empowered. God bless you. Have a good day.